How it started versus how it's going. We all remember this tweet, which has aged like a dirty diaper in the sun. What happens if I do this? Hide that? There we go. That's what I want to see. This was 3 days ago. This was on, what day is it today? Monday? Sunday? I don't remember which day it was. The LAPD, it's their official account, issuing a statement. Los Angeles Police Department regarding today's peaceful protests. Today, they say they would like to thank the police for peaceful protests, right? Today, demonstrations across the city remained peaceful, and we commend all those who exercise their First Amendment rights responsibly. We read this the other day. They were never peaceful. They were never exercising them peacefully and as per the constitutional protection of peaceful assembly. Doesn't matter. We'd like to thank everyone for remaining peaceful. Oh, how it started and how it's going. 11 hours ago, yesterday. Curfew in effect in downtown Los Angeles. Any person who remains engaged in unlawful assembly or criminal activity will be detained and arrested. Oh no, but Viva, a lot can change in 3 days. It was the bad actors that Karen Bass is saying are exploiting of Donald Trump's insanity to carry out their bad acts. We'll get there. How it started, how it's going curfew, and then we got Gavin Newsom, who is sitting there shitting on Trump for bringing in the National Guard, for calling in the National Guard. It's all peaceful. Nothing's going on here. He's standing up for all Los Angelonians, including the illegal immigrants, aliens. Gavin Newsom, last night as well, if you incite violence or destroy our communities, you are going to be held accountable. Yep, much like he's going to solve the homeless crisis in California. That kind of criminal behavior will not be tolerated. Full stop. Oh, thank you, Gavin. Thank you. As he's talking tough and lecturing J.D. Vance and lecturing Donald Trump. Then you got Karen Payne in the Bass. Says, let me be clear. Anyone who vandalized downtown or looted stores does not care about our immigrant communities. You will be held accountable. Nothing better than the most useless twat waffles on earth vowing that there will be consequences. By the way, what was her thing here? Let me be clear. Do we all remember what we say time and time again? It's time-tested and true as the sun is hot and the day is long. Every single time. Where is it? I put this out earlier. I know that I put it out here. Oh, come on. Did I not hit the tweet? Let me be clear. Every single time, or virtually 90% of the time, you are going to be fed a load of crap. Oh, yeah, here it is. I found it. Let me just put this down here. Let me be clear. And this is bipartisan. Don't say let me be clear, because it means you're not clear for the other parts of whatever you had to say. Let me be clear. Oh, did she say it twice? She's starting every tweet off with let me be clear. Let me be clear. This is Viva Frei from, it's either October 7th or July 10th. I forget which way the dates go on these things. It looks like October 7th, 2020. Whenever anyone starts a tweet / comment with make no mistake or quote, let me be clear, 90% of the time what follows is absolute nonsense or misinformation. Karen Bass dropping the hammer after peaceful protests. You won't believe what she had to say about it. And it's so pathological. It's so, I want to say communist in its tactic. There's nothing you can do that will be their fault. When the illegal aliens and the criminals and the cartels and the gangs act out because they're criminals, it's not their fault. It's Trump's fault. When you go in and try to enforce federal law and people resist and then you need to escalate and arrest people, it's the people who get arrested that are the victims, because how dare the federal government come in and enforce federal law? First of all, I also you know that it's a pet peeve of mine. I loathe when people who are acting in the context of a team say I loathe it. Karen Bass is purportedly the mayor of LA. She's a communist scoundrel of the highest order. For maintaining for 3 days, it's peaceful, there's no breaking of the law, and Trump is big bad man, she has to issue a curfew. Even when she issues the curfew, it's not the fault of the criminals or the illegal aliens if they are rioting, vandalizing, looting. It's Trump's fault. Pathological. Like it's the rules for radical playbook. I issued a curfew starting at 8 p.m. for downtown Los Angeles to stop bad actors who are taking advantage of the president's chaotic escalation. I mean, give him credit. for being the most dishonest, scoundrelous pieces of shit on planet Earth. I put in a curfew to stop the bad actors who are taking advantage of President Trump's chaotic escalation. It's like regardless of how you feel about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, if you're old enough to remember Yasser Arafat, every single time there was an overt, abject act of terrorism, the statement was always, we strongly condemn violence on both sides. Every single time there was some terrorist act, they would say, we condemn all violence, including the violence perpetrated by those who made the act of terrorism necessary. Apply it mutatis mutandis. It's the bad actors, it is Trump's fault that bad actors are taking advantage of his chaotic escalation, and it's not Trump just enforcing the law because of the chaotic escalation of the bad actors. Congratulations, Karen Bass, you are a filthy commie. Marxist, maybe Marxist is the better word. If you do not live or work in downtown LA, avoid the area. Law enforcement will arrest individuals who break the curfew, and you will be prosecuted. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. So far, I'm not sure who's doing what. I just know that shit's hitting the fan, and it's going from bad to worse. But if you needed any illustration of the bad actors, the bad people, the bad faith actors who are exploiting of Trump's chaotic escalation of the situation, it's literally like, who's the meme of the guy? He did some really nasty comedy stuff, but it's the meme of him shooting someone on the couch saying, look what you made me do, basically. Remember, people, it's not an insurrection, what's going on here. You just have criminals, illegal aliens, ostensibly, hold on a second, and cartels and Lantifa, whatever you want to call them, burning shit down and flying the flag of foreign countries in America. This is Tony Seruga, investor, board member, big data pioneer. Oh, I know I follow this guy. I always say Segura, and I think I get mistaken between Tony Seruga and Tom Segura. GPS, listen to this. I cannot vouch for the accuracy of this. It would be unsurprising, but my point in highlighting this was not the tweet comment, but the video attached. Tony Seruga says GPS, more in-depth deep data on the rioters in Los Angeles. At least 309 of the devices appear to reside in $10+ million residences from Southern California's Brentwood, Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Malibu, Ranch Santa Fe, San Francisco, Palo Alto, to New York, Atlanta, Houston, Seattle, Maui, Las Vegas, Lake Tahoe, etc., etc. And 79% of those fly private 3 or more times per year. They are very likely billionaire trust fund kids. No idea if what he's saying is accurate or not. I don't really care about that, although it wouldn't be surprising at all. I just care more about the fact that these are the bad faith actors taking advantage of Trump's chaotic exploiting of Trump's chaotic escalation of the situation. Flying a Mexican flag in America on a cop car that is on fire, or at least has been on fire, or looks like it might be on fire. Let's play this here. What's amazing is how, I'm going to turn the volume down because I don't care about the dramatic music, how staged it all looks. I mean, it's a damn good picture in the sense that this will serve for J.D. Vance's 2028 presidential run. It's an amazing banner for the FBI and the DOJ to say, yeah, this is what insurrection looks like if there is such thing as insurrection. Illegal aliens, criminals, cartels, Antifa, Lantifa, Trantifa, whatever the hell you want to put in front of the Tifa, burning police cars, flying a foreign flag while they loot and destroy in American cities. Let's just go here. I love this. Is so cool. I don't have a 360 camera. There's another. That looks like another Mexican flag in the backdrop. Burning car. And back to the front. It's like, it's so weird. It's like, just, one street is closed off so they can do it. But I can't believe Trump made them do that. So what's Trump thinking? There's more. But wait, there's more. Who is the guy, by the way? You know who exactly I'm thinking about? The meme with the guy shooting the guy on the chair. His name is... I'll come back to it to get it in a second. Oh, jeez. I'll come back to it in a second, but I'm going to go crazy in the meantime until I get it. Doesn't matter. Let's bring up something else that's in the backdrop. Karen Bass. Now, this is her curfew. Hold on. Eric Andre, thank you very much. Oh, that's better. Oh, God. Nobody, if you don't have the personality type, nobody understands what that nagging irritation is in the back of your head until it gets satisfied with the answer. But it's amazing. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, I just refreshed my memory as to what I wanted to get to. It's not an insurrection, and they're not participating in it. They're not giving the dog whistles and the green light. I need to actually go open this one up in my main thing because we need to access the reply tweet. It's not an insurrection. It's not being aided and abetted by the current administration, but they're tweeting in foreign languages. The founding fathers did not live and die to see this moment. It's time for all of us to stand up peacefully. That's Governor Gavin Newsom saying this the same day they're declaring a curfew, the same day they're flying Mexican flags while burning shit down. Then, because he's totally not giving the dog whistle, the wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the 1.5 million illegals that currently live in the LA area, he goes and tweets in Spanish. Los padres fundadores de esta nación no vivieron ni murieron para presenciar este momento. Es hora de que todos nos levantemos pacíficamente. Sorry, I speak French, but I don't speak Spanish, although I kind of want to learn it. And then I just had to put out the obvious funny tweet. I saved you some time for your next tweet, Gavin, and I put it in Chinese. Mandarin. Sorry, Chinese is not a language, it's Mandarin. This is a man who is aiding and abetting an insurrection through act and omission, and in this case, omission and act, giving the dog whistles to the people who know damn well what to do, and blaming Trump for the chaotic escalation. What they're basically saying to Trump, and we've been saying it all week, is they're going to riot, they're going to burn shit down when you come in to enforce federal law. You're going to back out, and when that happens, we're going to claim victory, and we are now going to know that we can act as sanctuary cities, thumb our nose at the feds, take all their money, but don't help them enforce their laws. And not only don't help them enforce their laws, actively aid and abet in defying those laws. And we will have won, we will have made our point, and we will have won this tug of war, which is exactly why Donald John Trump and his administration cannot allow them to win this tug of war. And I don't think he's going to make the same mistake as 2020's Summer of Love to allow them to win this war. Now, some people are pontificating. He's enforcing the National Guard now. How dare he do that? How dare he violate state sovereignty by imposing, bringing in the National Guard? And some people are saying, oh my goodness, if he can bring in the National Guard now, why could he do that on January 6th? Because people are dumb, people are stupid, people are politically retarded, people are pathological liars, and David Pakman is not the trifecta, is the grand slam of dumb, stupid, politically retarded, and totally dishonest. David Pakman, in all of his wisdom, writes on the X, can someone explain to me how Trump can deploy troops to Los Angeles, no matter what the governor says, or mayor say, but somehow it was Nancy Pelosi who needed to send the National Guard to D.C. on January 6th, and Trump was powerless to do anything about it? Good question, Aguada. Here it is with a nice little typo for your dumb bum. You really are the stupidest and most dishonest piece of trash on Twitter, Pakman. Trump ordered the National Guard before. Let me rephrase. Trump offered the National Guard before in order to ensure adequate protection. We know this because Kash Patel testified to that effect in the Colorado removing Trump from the ballot court case. We know that now because it's been proven, despite the fact that those filthy liars lied about it for the last 5 years. 4 years. Back to my tweet. Pelosi declined then lied about the offer precisely because January 6th was intended to be a Fedsurrection, and had Pelosi accepted the offer, they would not have had their leehop, let it happen on purpose. Once they had gotten the, quote, violence they desperately wanted in order to carry out this Fedsurrection through provocation, agitators, and police brutality, they called in the National Guard, who came by early afternoon. I hope this clarifies your stupid question, but something tells me you're too stupid to understand and too dishonest to acknowledge. At D. Pacman. Make sure everybody understands that. You could call in the National Guard with or without the authorization of the governor, state, whatever, if there's a crisis that so requires it. The National Guard can be requested or, can be approved, requested, and authorized or allowed by the governor, by the leader, whatever. Bringing in the National Guard when crisis is underway is far different than offering the National Guard before any crisis is even known to have the potential of breaking out in order to prevent it. Trump, admin, offered the National Guard, we now know this for a fact, in advance of January 6th, before any crisis had happened, just in case, for whatever the reason, Washington Capitol Police were down to, a half of their staff, a third of their staff because of COVID. They were, equipped with bikes and bike barriers because, it's only the Capitol building. It's only a couple of weeks before the inauguration in what people believe was a totally fucked up election, which it was. So Trump offers it. We don't know what's going to happen. Thus far, peace. We don't know what's going to happen. Those involved in the Fedsurrection knew damn well it was going to happen. I guess Trump didn't. Maybe he ought to have known and brought in the National Guard regardless. Who knows? He offered. Pelosi said no because they needed it to escalate. They wanted it to escalate because they were going to exactly do what they did with that escalation, even if they had to make that escalation happen themselves. Through feds, through CHSs, through provocation, through police abuse, through we didn't have enough staff and they overpowered us. Well, why didn't you accept the National Guard? Because we wanted them to overpower us so that we could use it as a means of impeachment, number two, surveillance of half of the country, weaponizing all elements of the DOJ against American citizens. They wanted it to happen. They needed it to happen. And that's why they declined in advance. Once they got what they needed, once they got the photo ops, then they called in the National Guard. True, on their own, I guess. And it was there within 3 hours. That's the difference. Pacman, you idiot. So, yeah, ask stupid questions. Get the answers that you deserve. You're an idiot, Pacman. But I don't know that you're an idiot. I actually believe you're optimistic. The thing is this, I've seen him talk. I've seen his show a couple times. I genuinely believe he's unintelligent. But unintelligent and dishonest, it's not quite as toxic of a mix as intelligent and dishonest, because stupid people don't make the greatest of liars and they don't make the greatest of political actors, and David Pacman is one of those subpar political actors. The ones who you really have to be worried about are the ones who are smart, devious, and have zero moral compass. Enter the picture, Mark Carney out of Canada. So that's the distinction there, by the way, in case anyone had any lingering doubts as to what the differences were. But wait, there is more. Yeah, well, once this whole show's verboten for CommieTube, let me just pull up a clip, which I do bring up. Oh, to what we're going to watch right here. I've played it a couple times. If you have a sensitive sense of humor, grow up. Okay, we're going to go back to someone else who is also a dumb liar. That is Eric Swalwell, or also known as China Spy McBangface, Eric Swallowell. he's such a... It's impossible not to look at this face. No, let me rephrase. It's impossible to look at this face and not want to vomit. Maybe if I liked him, it would be a different thing to look at. He looks like he smells bad. Like he looks like if there were a human that smelled like rotten fish, it would be Bang Bang McFang Fang Eric Swallowell. But let's hear what McSwallowell has to say. For those of you who don't know, he's alleged to have had fornications with a Chinese spy named Fang Fang. For those of you who don't know the McSwallowell, well, that explains that. There's jokes. He also farted, allegedly, and I defended him for that because it was a stupid thing to make fun of someone for, but whatever. Let's hear what McSwallowell has to say.
Some breaking news images are coming in right now of our National Guard troops sleeping in absolute squalor in Los Angeles.
I'm not a very high maintenance person. Doesn't look comfortable. That doesn't look like absolute squalor. You want to know what squalor looks like? Bang, bang, McFang, fang, swallow, well. Go to Skid Row. You want to know what squalor looks like? Go look at the homeless people living in underpasses of LA. You stupid jackass. I'm sorry. Serenity.
It's despicable that Donald Trump would treat him this way. It's exactly, though, what you would expect from a commander-in-chief who calls our troops suckers and losers.
Lie.
But it shows that...
As they say the same lies over... By the way, for someone who's been on the internet in front of a camera making videos for a long time, you can tell when someone is uncomfortable, when it looks like they're sort of holding in a fart. LOL, McSwallow. Right now, he's talking like this, sort of not using his full indoor voice because he's either in a spot where he shouldn't be making a video or he's just an insecure scum of the earth liar who doesn't feel the confidence in what he's saying to say it with the full breadth of his God-given lungs. He's a liar. He knows he's a liar. He's ashamed of what he's saying deep down in his heart of hearts. And we'll get to why they're in squalor in these conditions. From what I understand, spoiler, Encryptus, if you can fact check me first, my understanding is why they're sleeping in these areas is because they were being doxxed where they were and met with violence where they were staying. So they had to stay in certain areas to avoid the doxing and the violence. I hear you, but I don't see you.
You're 100% correct. I was actually reading those stories. Their hotels were all doxxed by potentially hotel staffers. They haven't gotten down to it. They are investigating what happened and who did dox them, though.
Good.
And this is exactly what happened.
Thank you. I mean, it's good because I saw it in a couple of places, but I it might turn out to be wrong still, but I have that degree of cover my ass because I don't want to definitively assert something that turns out to be false without qualifying it with it might be wrong. But this is what they do, by the way. Not Norm Macdonald. Tom Macdonald said it. They kill you and then they broadcast it as the news. I forget exactly the lyrics there. They brutalize you, they victimize you, and then they exploit of their having victimized you for their own political profit. These National Guard troops, to the extent that they were forced to sleep in each other's legs in specific locations, allegedly, and by all accounts right now, results from their hotels having been doxxed and them not being safe there as a result of the criminality of the people who suck the sweat off this scumbag's forehead. And so they victimize you and then they use it as propaganda to try to go after Trump. Scum of the earth.
He is exploiting these troops for political purposes, his own gain. And just look at how he is treating them. It's time to call them back. Let the state and city officials handle this, but this is no way to treat our troops. And this abuse is going to be repeated everywhere unless we stop it.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go doc.
Some breaking news images are coming in right now.
So I just want you to look at his face. I can't seem to zoom in any closer. Look at his face. Let it burn. Let it burn your retinas. Look at the little glowing patch on his forehead. Let me just make sure that I don't have the same one. Look at his glasses. Look close at his glasses. And then I present to you a comic from Canada who was had some great skits 17 years ago.
Are you fed up of looking like a regular law-abiding citizen? Need to add a little bad boy to your style? A little bit of dangerous? Try rapist glasses. They make the everyday man look like a sexual predator. Ladies love the bad boy look, and you can't get much worse than a rapist.
We can stop it there. And let's just go back to Eric's. Oh, I don't think I have it anymore. No, I got it there. Someone also put out the meme of George Costanza on Seinfeld. They're ladies' glasses. I don't remember that, and I never liked Seinfeld, so those are not my cultural references. John LaJoie is one of my cultural references. John LaJoie, I believe he used to make videos from Longueuil, Longueil, which was on the south shore of Montreal, and he had some great ones. He also had Pedophile Beard, which I think we might have to go and get because, it fits with the show. He did the follow-up to Rape His Glasses 17 years ago. I remember watching this in real time. How things have only gotten crazier. There we go.
From the makers of Rapist Glasses comes a new product that's sure to put the sex back into convicted sex criminal. Introducing Pedophile Beards. Pedophile beards give you that creepy sex face that women simply can't resist. Stop going unnoticed with your boring nice guy look and start scaring the shit out of people.
All right, everybody can go check this out. It's hilarious, or at least he used to be funny. I think politics may have gone to him. So that's what Swalwell is all about. You know, to the extent that the troops or the National Guard resorted to sleeping in close proximity in close quarters because they were getting doxxed by the totally nonviolent bad actors who are only responding to Trump's chaotic escalation of the situation. Can you believe that? Doesn't matter whether or not you believe it. It's there. You got the receipts and you've seen it in real time. Was there another one with Swalwell? There was. I think it was. Oh my God! This guy is just he's a glory. Sorry, I can't say that. Excuse me, Viva. Still, there's children watching. So, U.S. Attorney Haba, just to shift things slightly, announced. When is this from? This is from yesterday. U.S. Attorney Haba. Today, a federal grand jury seated in Newark, New Jersey, returned a 3-count indictment charging U.S. Representative LaMonica MacGyver with forcibly impeding and interfering with federal law enforcement officers. This indictment has a maximum penalty of 8 years for count 1, an additional maximum penalty of 8 years for count 2, and a maximum penalty of 1 year in prison for count 3. As I have stated in the past, it is my constitutional obligation as the chief federal law enforcement officer for New Jersey to ensure that our federal partners are protected when executing their duties. While people are free to express their views for or against particular policies, they must do so in a manner that they must not do so in a manner that endangers law enforcement and the communities those officers serve. Today's decision by the grand jury is the next step in a process that my office will pursue to a just end. For those of you who don't recall, LaMonica MacGyver was the woman seen on camera punching an ICE agent. This is when those Democrat idiots went and stormed an ICE facility or whatever the hell it was. And you saw a video, which I think is pretty damn clear, if not clear enough for a conviction, at least clear enough for the charges, of MacGyver punching an ICE officer. Just, and looked like the shoulder with whatever. It was pretty clear. All right. Enter Bang Bang McFang Fang Swalwell, who smells like rotten fish, if my assessment is correct, says this. And I mean, it's beyond the pale of not just an elected official, of a current serving official. I acknowledge that I swear and I have a potty mouth. And if I ever run for office, I have no doubt that people are going to pull up tweets and say, Viva, is this you calling Keir Starmer a fucking redcoat? Yeah, probably me. And I don't delete my tweets unless there's a good reason and with a clarification. I'm not a current member of government, a current sitting member of government, talking like this. Rep Eric Bang Bang McFang Fang, farting on camera, smells rotten in real life. Swalwell says, let me start where this will end. You will lose, Alina. Oh, he's a big man. He's calling her by her first name. This is how a misogynist piece of shit asserts dominance, or thinks he asserts dominance over a woman. You won't get away with this, Alina. This will be dismissed or a not guilty at trial. You will be publicly humiliated and forever tied to this abuse of power. And keep your fucking records. We will see you in the Judiciary Committee soon. I'm not getting pretentiously sensitive. That is so wildly inappropriate for someone who's allegedly, purportedly going to be sitting on a judiciary committee to say, keep your fucking records in a tweet to another elected official. He should be kicked out of freaking government. What did I write here? And keep your fucking records. We will see you in the Judiciary Committee soon. From his official government account. Yeah, I forgot to highlight that part of it. From his official, gray check mark, not even his own Eric McBang Bang Fang Fang, if I want to have sex with Chinese spies account, I can do it. From his official government account. What did I say up here? I forget now. Is this how a committee requests preservation of documents? You deserve to be censured for this, Rep Swalwell. If anybody's listening, snip, clip, share away. He deserves to be censured for this. Is there any chance that he would actually sit on this committee? Let me go ask Grok. If so, what did he say? It was called the Judiciary Committee. Does I'm not going to use his nicknames here. Does Swalwell sit on judiciary committees? Answer. Oh my God, yes. Bang, bang, McFang, fang, farty face, fish breath. Eric Swalwell currently serves on the House Committee on the Judiciary. He has been a member of this committee since 2017 and continues to serve on it in the 119th Congress, which began in January 2025. Within the Judiciary Committee, he is a member of the Subcommittee on Courts, Intellectual Property, Artificial Intelligence. He deserves to be censured and removed from this committee. It's unfathomable. Preserve. What did he say? Now I can't even remember how bad it is. Preserve your fucking records. Oh, keep your fucking records. It's not even preserve. And keep your fucking records. Here, I'm going to give everybody, go put this on blast. Put this on blast and let's get him censured. Let's get him removed from that committee. No, this is the guy verbally abusing someone on Twitter, another elected official, referring to her by her first name, and he thinks he's going to be investigating her on a judiciary committee? Get that fish-smelling spy banger off the committee. Censure, and I know they can remove them from committees because they did it to a number of other people for no bloody good reason.